Okay, welcome to the Trading Buddy Futures and Forex forecast for the week of February the 26th. It's good to be with you. I'm actually going to be traveling and out of state for some health reasons this coming week. Trading, I should still be able to watch the markets, but I'm not going to be in my normal environment, so that's always a hard thing. Let's just take a look at the normal markets that I've got positions on and that I always keep an eye on. The stock futures did a little bit what I expected last week. Down, up, up, down. It did a little bit of both. I didn't really know what it was going to happen. It came down a little bit after the President's Day holiday, and then it rallied. And so we did see some movement to the upside. Now, the rally was a pretty strong rally based off of NVIDIA earnings. It's the AI prospect. All companies are going to be purchasing those type of services and those chips and whatnot. And so it did cause the markets to react to that. You can see that the advanced decline line did not break the highs where the price did. So I'm a little suspect on the continuation of this. I think it could continue in the first part of the week, and then we might see it come down. I'm not going to be a major seller like I've wanted to be, until we get a trend line break of this low. And so we're looking at 49.60 as kind of it needs to retrace 160 points to be a true seller. And so I don't know if that's going to happen next week. So I'm going to keep my powder dry. I got stopped out of some of my positions when it broke on Thursday. So that's something that's unfortunate, but that's just the way trading is. And so we're gonna just keep on going forward, wait for another trade, and see what happens. As far as being bullish, I really would like to see it come back down into the 4,800 area before putting in some more longs. The precious metals markets were starting to make their way. Silver was starting to make its way last week. But the beginning of this week, it just kind of steadily came down, and Friday had a nice little rally day. But unfortunately, we're still, fortunately, we're still in this, and unfortunately, we're still having to wait. So I'm still long in this and waiting for it to come back up into the 2450 area to take profits. Otherwise, the 2184 is my stop. 2197 is kind of the new low right here, but I have it just below that. So silver, we're still waiting either way. I have a small position on gold, and it's coming back up into this range. I don't know if it'll get all the way back up to this 2084, 2080 area, 2100, but it's very possible that it could get back up here and then maybe chop around a bit as well. I don't expect a big, large run in gold, but I wouldn't be surprised at that either. And so that's something that we'll keep an eye on with the gold market. Crude is just chopped around this week. You can see it's been in consolidation since last Friday. And Friday it had a big down day. And so if it breaks below these lows, it will probably come back down into the 72 range. So it's going to have to rally to break above Thursday's high for it to continue back up into the 82. I'm currently not in crude oil. I took a little bit of profits at this high. Whoops, at this high up here, and it could continue on and I could miss out on that, but I'm looking for a possibility of it could be back down into here and then look for another long buy signal. The same can't be said about natural gas. I've been long natural gas, got stopped out in here, and I'm looking for this long uh, position. So I said last week we should get a pop back up, and we did get that, and it come back down and form a higher low. We are seeing the start of that. But if it's going to continue downwards, then it's not time yet to be a buyer. So we need to get back to Friday's high in order for that to become a higher low. And that could happen Monday or Tuesday. If it doesn't happen Monday or Tuesday, we really need to just kind of stay on the sidelines and wait it out. I guess it could happen on Wednesday, but uh, we'll just have to wait and see what this market does, but I am expecting it to rally back into this 2.5, 3 range up in these areas uh, over the next month or two. But we just don't always get what we want. But at this point, it's starting to make the formation that we were looking for last week. So keep an eye on natural gas. Soybean just keeps going down. but the commercials just keep buying. And so there's going to be an opportunity to be a buyer here. It did gap up, but it immediately closed the gap, and so it's come back down. I am waiting for the opportunity. The contract is going to be rolling, and so I do have some small positions that I'll roll, but I am still waiting for the opportunity to add on a position and lower my cost basis. The margin requirement is pretty low, and it's not a hugely volatile commodity, but I am expecting it to make a run over the next several months, and so I'm going to be looking for those buy signals. But for now, even if it breaks Friday's high, I want to see a break of this trend line and a formation of a higher low before getting into it. And I want to see this price open as just volume make a move to the upside. So I'm still keeping an eye on soybeans. We're keeping an eye on wheat as well. It's been in this consolidation price area for quite a while. It held these lows, thank goodness, because I have my stops below those. But I'm going to have to roll the contract, and I am watching this trend line right in here to see if we're going to get it broken. And we are making a new low. It made a new intermediate term low, a higher intermediate term low. And we just need to wait and see when the commercials really start kicking in that demand and push the price up. But for now, very small position, and we have our stops around that 550 area. I'm still on the sidelines with the bond market. And Friday, it did make a move above all these highs and made a nice move at that. And so it'll probably come back down a little bit if this holds, if this low holds, then we might see it come back up. But I'm not sure if the dollar's done yet. I'm not sure if the US dollar will probably push this down a little bit back into the 114s. And so I'm not willing to buy bonds just yet. Even though today had a big day, so I'm going to stay on the sidelines with the bond market. Okay, now my normal charts for the forex markets aren't working, so I'm just going to pull up the Japanese yen here on the futures. Now with this market here, this is actually inverse of the dollar yen. So the dollar yen is going up because the dollar is going up against the yen. So this is the Japanese yen going down, and you can see that we're back to these levels here, and you can kind of see that we're holding the lows. We could see a break and a movement back up to the upside for the yen or down for the dollar yen. I'm still not convinced of this happening. I want to see something more from the Bank of Japan as far as intervention. And again, I don't think the dollar is done yet. And the dollar could definitely make a move against the yen if it's going to make a move against anything. And so this is a market that I'm still going to sit on the sidelines. This is the British pound futures. This is going to be very similar to what we've seen with on the Alveo charts. You can see we're in this consolidation. I had a small position in my hedge fund account that got stopped out when it broke this high right here, and it's come back down, and it's kind of created an inside day. So we're in kind of a holding pattern with this. Monday it could come back up into these ranges, but I could easily see it coming back to Thursday's low. If it comes back to Thursday's low, I'm going to start selling. If it comes to Thursday's high, I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit higher, maybe this 127 area before I start looking for sells. Okay, this is the Euro futures. It looks just like the Euro here. We saw the same movement that we did on the pound, reached above and then immediately got shot back down, and it's been weaker than the pound. And so if it gets back to Thursday's low, Wednesday's low, especially Tuesday's low, then we're on for the races to the downside to the Euro. It might take a few days though. I think we might chop around here a little bit next week and just see what some of the more economic data comes out in the next week. So I'm going to be stocking the short side, watching for that, but I'm not expecting it to happen real soon. Here's the euro yen. I said last week that it should pull back a little bit for a test and then rally the rest of the week, and that's exactly what it did. And so we're looking that it's back up into these highs in the 162, 163, 164 region. I expect it to still continue again, unless the Bank of Japan does or says something. but it's still off to the races to the bull side unless we see a break of this trend line or a formation of a lower high for a trend change to the downside. We are overbought on both Williams percent R, so we'll see what happens with the euro yen. I'm not actively trading the euro yen, but I do keep an eye on it every week, so we'll see what happens with this. Well, I appreciate you joining me this weekend for the forecast and wish me luck this week for my health. I really have a lot of things that I need to figure out, and I hope to do so because I have a lot of good, fun things planned for my Trading Buddy system. Trying to get more content out, get more value for those of you that are subscribed and those of you that are coming in. So, really appreciate your patience. I really appreciate your prayers and thoughts. And I hope you all have a great week trading. If you need anything, be sure to reach out and we'll talk to you again next week. Take care.